No, don't blame me. Morning.
Good morning.
My mouse. Good girl, Rox. You're gonna chill, aren't you, Louise? Go and sit down. Go and sit down.
So it's Abby Thursday today, I was thinking, you know, Abby Thursday.
No.
Abby Thursday? Happy Thursday.
Oh, oh God, sorry.
I was just thinking this morning, oh, Happy Thursday.
Yeah, happy Thursday. With that lovely rain.
Yeah. That fell flat, didn't it?
Yeah, sorry. Wake up, rain. Okay, go for it.
Right, good morning, evening, afternoon, everybody, in that order, or not. Just a quick reminder, if anything doesn't feel right, just miss out, modify, and just move on, take a break, protect the lower back, protect the neck, and obviously I will prompt you and give you guidance. So, let's start warming up that spine to start with. So feet in parallel, standing across, and just thinking about where our body position is. So, slight softening of the knees, sending the weight over the toes. Those feet are in parallel, and we're just going to take our arms just loosely by our side, and we'll just start the first of 3 roll downs just to get that spine nice and warmed up. So take a deep lateral breath into those ribs, really feel yourself expand, and on an exhale, allow the chin to fall to the chest, pulling in the abdominals, really finding the space in each vertebra as you start rolling down, almost like you're diving down to the mat, vertebra by vertebra. When we reach the bottom, bend those knees if you need to, just to get yourself a little bit closer, taking a deep breath into the back of the ribs, expanding out, and on an exhale, just start restacking the spine all the way to the top, sending the tailbone underneath you, pulsing those abdominals a little bit more, and opening the shoulders nice and wide. And let's go again. Deep breath in, and on an exhale, chin falling towards the chest, and we're just smoothly rolling all the way down. Another deep breath in at the bottom, and then rolling all the way to the top. And the shoulders nice and wide at the top. And just one more time, breathing in and rolling all the way down to the mat. You can take a deep breath in here, and then just take your knees down to the mat, cross your ankles over, and we're just going to come to the front of our mat, making sure you've got enough space behind, because obviously eventually we will be going down. So again, feet in parallel, and you're sitting up nice and tall on your sit bones, taking hold of the back of your legs, and take a deep breath in here, feeling everything expand and length, and then on the exhale, really feel that nice supported tight corset around your abdominals, and we're going to roll the pelvis underneath us, and we're just going to roll to our tips of our shoulders if we can, but only go as far as you can today, and then exhaling, we're going to pull ourselves up to the top and sitting tall on our sit bones again. Do that 2 more times. Breathing in, feeling the expansion and feeling the length, and then exhale, rolling that tailbone underneath you, going only as far as you can. Recover. So we're going to take a deep breath in here, and then exhale, pulling in those abdominals as we roll up to the top. One more time. Breathing in, exhaling, finding the curve in the lower back as we roll down, breathing in at the bottom, and then exhaling. We're coming up to the top, and then we can go all the way back down to the mat and take yourself lying all the way down to the mat. And just bring those heels in towards your bottom a little bit more. Feet in parallel again. Arms are by your side. Those arms are going to be active today, backs of the arms, so we're going to use them to help us. Palms facing down. And we're just going to go the first of 3 pelvic curls. So take a deep breath in. Feel those ribs expand on the back of the mat. And then exhaling, tilt your pelvis towards you, press your lower back into the ground, using those abs to start lifting and peeling the spine up and off the floor, using your bottom and your thighs to help you just to get that little bit higher. And when you're at the top, thinking, are my ribs flaring here? If they are, tuck your tailbone underneath you a little bit more. Your ribs will drop down and connect to the back of the mat. Okay, breathing in at the top, you're still pressing those upper arms in, and then roll your spine all the way down to the mat and releasing it back into that neutral position. So let's go 2 more times. Breathing in, exhaling, tilting the pelvis towards you, lower back presses into the mat as you start rolling up and off the mat. Think about those 10 toes while we're up here. All 10 toes are pressed in particular that big toe that will activate the inner thighs. You've got your tennis ball in between your knees and you're thinking about drawing your heels back towards your bottom. So just draw them back. You should immediately feel your hamstrings kicking in there. Deep breath in, tucking the tailbone underneath, and then rolling nice and smoothly all the way down to the mat and releasing that pelvis into that neutral position. Hip bone, pubic bone, same thing. One more time. Breathing in, exhaling, tilting the pelvis, smoothly rolling all the way up. Back to the arms are pressing in because they don't want to be left out. You're at the top, you're going to tuck your tailbone underneath you a little bit more, drops your ribs down, activates your abdominals just that little bit more, and then exhaling, articulating the spine all the way down to the mat and releasing into a neutral position. You're going to take your hands, interlace your fingers, taking them behind the heaviest part of your head. We're going to go up and we're going to do a set of rotations in our chest lift position. So again, make sure you're in that position. Feet are pressing into the ground. The knees are fist distance apart. Pelvis is in neutral. You're pressing your head into your hand. You're going to take a deep breath in here to prepare. Feeling the expansion on the back of your ribs. And on an exhale, you're going to lift your head, neck and shoulders, using your abdominals to hold you up there. And we're going to try and keep that height. So we're going to take a deep breath in and just rotate to the left, just sending the nose to the outward side of the left knee. So it's a slight rotation. You're wringing out a disc cloth. And then on the exhale, using your right obliques, you're going to bring yourself back to the center. Inhaling over to the right side. Incredibly small movement in the waist. And then exhale, using your left obliques back to the center. If you need to take a break, go back down for a break and come back up again. If you can stay up, let's go with another step. Rotating over to the left. Nose just shooting past the left knee. Exhale back through center. Inhale over to the right. Back through center. Again, if you need to go down for a break, go down for a break. If not, one more. Over to the left. Back through center. Over to the right. Pressing that head into the hand. Caught myself. And then one more deep breath in, lifting up one more vertebra there in the middle. And then slowly and with control, do not collapse. Try not to collapse. Take yourself all the way back down to the mat. Good stuff. Okay, so that was a bit of a speedy warm-up. So we're going to take...
That's a warm-up.
That's your warm-up. We're going to take, you need need a little bit of room, we're going to do something called the corkscrew. Okay, so we're going to be sending our legs around in a circle, but it doesn't have to be a massive movement. It's small, it's controlled, it's how you feel today. So we'll take both legs up to tabletop. Okay, slowly and with control. We're going to squeeze those legs together. Two options. You can send your legs up towards the ceiling. That's a little bit too much for you this morning or this afternoon. Just bend your legs just a little bit. Okay, it's still gonna have a good effect. So we do one breath to prepare, and then it's an inhale to prepare, and then an exhale as we go all the way around. And we're going to be lifting. We're going around to the left, and we're going to be lifting up our right hip. So let's inhale to prepare. Arms are pressing down, so you can use your backs of your arms again. And then on an exhale, we're going to send our legs all the way around, down, and back up in a kind of corkscrew action. So, and then we'll go the other way. Deep breath in. Feel that expansion in the backs of the ribs as always. And then exhale, down, around, and back up to the top. One more in each direction. Breathing in. And then exhale. I'm going to the left, down, around, and up. We should be massaging the lower spine into the back of the mat. And then one more in the other direction. Breathing in.
Does it arch out at all then or not? Or are you trying not to?
You're trying not to.
Okay.
Trying to press your lower back into the ground, into the mat, just to protect it.
Yeah.
Down, around, and then back up. Okay. And then you can hug your knees in towards you just for a second. Just for a second, that's all. And then take those legs back out to tabletop position. So we are going to be 90-degree angle in the hip and in the knees. It's kind of a little bit lower down than you think it is. You're perfect there, absolutely perfect. So we're going to take our hands overhead. Palms are going to be facing in. And we're going to go up into the 100 prep. Don't worry, we're not doing full 100 today. So we're squeezing those legs together and we're holding it in our abdominals. We're going to inhale as we lift our head, neck and shoulders and our arms become parallel. And we're reaching our fingers forward and then exhaling as we slowly and almost resist going backwards. Really feel like you're holding your legs with your abs. So again, inhaling as we lift head, neck and shoulders, squeeze those legs together, reach those fingers, and then exhaling as we return back to the mat. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhaling up and over, squeezing those legs together, and then exhaling as we return. Feeling it?
Yeah, really.
Okay. If you need to support your head, obviously bend one arm and lift up and over. And then exhaling.
It feels fine on the neck now.
Just the stomach. It's just the stomach, but that's what we like. And then I think this might be the last one. Inhaling, up and over, reaching forward, and then exhaling as we return back to the mat. And then just take those knees in, give them a little bit of a hug, and reach them out. Again, you can allow your ribs to flare here for a minute. What I'm normally telling you not to do, so ribs are flaring, point those toes, stretch out. Okay, and then we're going to send that rib cage down to the mat, get that connection so we know where we want to be. So we're going to roll up into a sitting position. So lots of modifications that we can do here. Assisted roll up, so bending one leg, taking a hold of it. You can even bend both legs if you want and rock and roll up to a sitting position. So for the modification of just taking hold of the back of the leg, take a deep breath in, start lifting your head, neck and shoulders. When you can't lift any more, press that lower back into the mat. No momentum required here, purely abs, dig deep, find the curve in the spine as you go up and over into your seated position. And we'll roll back down using the other leg, okay? Just to give those who want the option to do the full roll up a chance to do that as well. So, sitting tall on your sit bones, and then find the curve in the spine, in the lower back, rolling down, stretching out that the leg that's on the floor. Elbows can go wide. That's that sticking point there, isn't it? We've got to commit as we roll all the way down to the mat. So you can carry on coming up with the assisted roll up, or we can give it a go with the full roll up, or we can just go up to the first position. So first position being deep breath in, lift your arms, head, neck and shoulders, you're seeing your fingers, arms then come parallel, and then as you exhale, press your abs and your lower back into the mat. Just lift up one more vertebra. So we can all go with that. Let's just do 2 more like that. That's really, really deep for those lower abs. Heather's going, can we please return? Exhale.
One way or the other.
Back to the mat. We're holding, we are strong. Okay. So breathing in, fingers up to the ceiling. We're seeing those. We're going to come up, head, neck and shoulders, arms come parallel. Breathing in here again. And then exhale, press those lower abs in. Good stuff. And then return back. We'll do 1 more like that. Breathing in, lifting head, neck, shoulders. Deep breath in here again. Exhale, lifting up 1 more vertebra. You're going to go all the way? No, you're not.
Am I allowed?
No, not yet. On the next one. So on the next one, feel free to lift up and do that assisted roll up. Still really, really good. Or have a go at the full roll up, but try with no momentum, just using those abs, finding that C shape and rolling up to the seated position. But feel free to do the modification, it's still brilliant. So breathing in, head, neck and shoulders, arms are coming parallel, we're breathing in here again, and then exhaling, we're going to use those abs, we're going to curve up into our seated position, and we're just going to reach forward, maintaining that curve, that nice C curve, so pull in those abs, Heather, a little bit, find that curve, a little bit more, that's it, good stuff. Okay, alright, so we're going to come up into that seated position. We'll just draw our legs in a minute and we'll just stretch our legs out. We're going to go into something and have a go at something called the teaser prep. Okay, so it is a little bit of a challenge, lots of modifications. Let's just see how we get on. Okay, so what we're looking for here is to start with the setup, sitting on those sit bones, and we are looking to get our legs up into a tabletop position. No, actually, to start with, let's keep our legs on the ground, and it's similar to how we started before. So we'll do one like this. But what we're looking for is a nice diagonal back, a really nice straight as you can. So you're thinking breastbone shining forward, okay? Almost like you're going ta-da kind of thing, okay? And we are going to roll the lower back down, okay? And then on an exhale, we're going to roll back up and then straighten that back out onto a diagonal line. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, but we're looking to do that with our legs up in our tabletop position if we can. If it's too much today, have one leg down and one leg up. That's okay too. Okay, so We're up into a tabletop position. We're hanging hold of the back of our legs. Think about having your toes on a shelf. So Heather, can you lift your shins up? That's it, perfect. So those legs are not supposed to move. Can I get on with it?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Squeeze those legs together. Your back is in a diagonal line. You're shining your breastbone forward and you're holding on. So we're going to take a deep breath in here. And on that same deep breath, we're going to roll that lower spine underneath us, only as far as we think we can recover. So the ideal and the aim is to keep those legs still. Okay. So that might be enough for you, just there, just underneath. Okay, or you could go a little bit further. She says wobbling. And then on the exhale, we're going to use those abdominals, squeeze those legs, and come up and get that diagonal line of that back, where that breastbone's shining forward. Let's go again. I'll shut up and we'll do it a little bit quicker. Breathing in, and then rolling, if you can, as far as you feel comfortable. It probably won't be down here. And then on an exhale, that's it, that's good. Most important thing then, extend that back. Get that back extension and shine that light forward. Let's go one more time. Breathing in, and then rolling underneath, finding the curve in the lower spine. Focus on a spot, maybe. Okay, I find that helps sometimes. Squeeze those legs together, keep those shins up, Heather.
Yeah.
And breathing in, and exhale. We're using those abdominals, my legs are moving. It's always about the aim, okay? And shine that breastbone forward. Okay, and then we can take one leg down, take the other leg down, and again, just allow your legs to fall open, and just using your elbows, just press your knees out a little bit more if that feels comfortable for you. Okay, that's a bit of a challenge one. The aim is obviously that we can get to is we can let go of the back of our legs and take our arms out.
Okay.
And then we go into the 40s. But that is the ultimate abdominal exercise. That's good, but the legs move. I think the teaser prep is almost harder than the actual teaser.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's so slow. It's so controlled. You see my legs are going, but the idea of keeping those toes on the shelf.
Solid.
And coming back up. Let's take those
That's good.
and just take your feet out to your mat distance apart. Let's just pamper the spine a little bit. So arms are reaching out, sitting up tall on your sit bones, bend those knees if you need to, just to get that back a little bit straighter. So breathing in, and then exhaling, allowing the chin to fall towards the chest, rolling the spine all the way down, away from that imaginary wall. And then when you feel like you can't roll any further, almost stick that bottom out so you just get a bit more of a reach, and then really breathe into those backs, the back of the ribs. And exhaling. Restacking the spine all the way to the top. And then one more, breathing in. Allowing the chin to fall towards the chest, rolling down. It's almost as if you're going up and over a small ball, not a giant Swiss ball, little football maybe. Stick that bottom out. Breathe into the back of the ribs, and then stack the spine all the way to the top. We're going to go down to the mat again. So quite good at rolling down onto the mat. Roll all the way down to the mat. I'm going to take one leg up to tabletop. And then press that lower back into the mat. Take the other leg up to tabletop. Squeeze those legs together. arms by your side, and of course they are active today. Really hold this position with your abdominals, pressing your lower back into the mat just to protect that spine. And we're just going to go for a few 5 toe taps on each side, 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. So nice and still, everything else is still, it's just your leg that's going to inhale as you tap down. It might not go all the way to the mat, as far as you feel comfortable, and then exhale to bring your leg back up. Inhale to tap down, and exhale to bring up. Most important thing to remember here is that we're sending the leg away to tap down. We're not bending from the knee. So the movement is coming from the hip, away, and exhaling, bringing it back. So again, it should be tight in your abs. This is where the control is. This is where you're most strong. I think that's 5 on that side. Take a moment to reset, telling your abs still.
Jigging about like mad.
Jiggy jiggy. And then use those arms as well, pressing those shoulders and backs of the arms into the mat. That will keep your shoulders wide. Caught myself lifting a little bit then. Just correct yourself. If you feel that you're lifting, just think, oh yeah, it's about thinking, body positioning, what's moving, what should be in the right position. 5 on that side. And then slowly with control, take one leg down, take the other leg down, and roll onto your front. Okay. So we're going to do a back extension, but we're going to go into a swan position. Okay. So back extension, again with your setup. You're thinking pubic bone pressing into the mat. You're tucking that tailbone underneath. Again, that's going to help with lifting up your abs, and you're protecting whatever it is underneath your belly button. You don't want those abs to drop down. Easier said than done, I know. Okay, so we're going to take our arms. Modification for this, or just a little bit of thought, is the wider and the further forward, that will help you, and that will help protect your lower back. Okay, so let's just take our arms out almost to a V position, and let's go from there. So palms are pressing in, so you're pressing all of those points in. You're reaching out with your legs. Okay, you're thinking about expanding into the backs of your ribs. So we're going to breathe in, and then on the exhale, we're just going to lift our breastbone forward. So we're thinking forward and not necessarily up, and length. So, and then back down to a hover. So that's okay. If that's okay, we can bring our arms in a little bit more. Okay. So again, deep breath in, and then exhaling. We're shooting our breastbone forward. We're going to start pressing our forearms down into the mat and our palms into the mat. We're shooting forward, and we are going to start lifting up here. And if you can keep going and start straightening those arms, if you can, that's it. You can start lifting your elbows off. If it's going into your lower back, just stop, come down a bit, or think about tucking that tailbone underneath, which will lift up your abs and protect your lower back. Deep breath in here, and then feel like you are drawing your elbows in towards your waist as you slowly return to a hover. And we'll go again, breathing in and lifting forward, shooting forward, legs are shooting out, and point those toes When you've gone as far as you can start lifting your forearms up and off the mat. Mindful of your lower back. And then drawing in the elbows towards the waist as you start returning down to the mat. If that feels okay, you can bring your elbows in that little bit more, or you can carry on doing the first exercise. So breathing in again, and we're going to start lifting. You're pulling in your abs. When you've gone as far as you can, if you feel like taking your elbows off, and start extending those arms, thinking about shining that breastbone forward, protecting that lower back. It's probably about as far as I feel like I can go today. Breathing in, and then drawing those elbows in towards the waist as you return back to a hover. And then just take your hands, take them closer towards your waist, push yourself up, and take yourself back into that rest position. Just giving a bit of a release for the lower back. Breathing in, and exhaling out. And all the time when you're taking these deep breaths in, just thinking about expansion of the back and length. And when you exhale, the tightening of the corset around your abdominals, around your core, which is what we're aiming to get stronger, because we are already pretty strong, I think. And then just take yourself up onto your toes, in your folded position, breathing in again, and then exhaling, rolling all the way up to a standing, and just roll those shoulders out. And I hope you enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, it's good. Really good.
Ooh, good. Might feel a little bit of that.
Definitely. Definitely going to feel that on the tummy,
I
that's
know
for sure.
the teaser prep is challenging, but it's just in there just to see how we go, just to challenge ourselves. And yeah.
That is good. That's great. I think Pilates just makes you have to really focus on the moves.
Absolutely.
So it's good.
And the body positions,
Yeah.
and just
Breathing,
being
everything.
aware.
Just forget everything else for a bit, which is always good.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
All right, thanks ladies. We'll see you again.